Hello! Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, how to get the most money from a reverse mortgage.
Good afternoon. That's right. We are going to explain how to get the most money from a reverse mortgage. Let's start with the basics. The amount of money you get is determined by HUD. It's based on a formula that factors in three things: the value of your house, the age of the youngest spouse, and the interest rate on the loan. By far the biggest factor of the three is the appraised value of your house.
Essentially, here's how appraisals work. An FHA-approved appraiser is hired. Then he searches for a minimum of 3 comparable sales in your neighborhood over the most recent 6 months.
Once the appraiser finds 3 comparable sales, then the appraiser adjusts and averages them. And that average is essentially the appraised value of your house.
So, can you really influence the appraised value of your home?
You really can't. I mean, Ginger, even flirting won't work.
I don't believe that.
Well, although you can try it, I don't think that'll work on most appraisers. Over the last couple of years, we've seen that the tax value of your house generally is pretty close to the likely appraised value. I would say that's the case on maybe 75% of the time. But we do see tax values sometimes that are nowhere near accurate. So consider the tax value generally a good gauge of the probable appraised value, but not always.
Let me bring one final thing to your attention about appraised values. This may happen 10% of the time. Foreclosures or distressed sales in your neighborhood can temporarily distort the value of your house. Let's say you're in a neighborhood where all the houses are worth $200,000. Then you have a couple of distressed sales within a mile or two of your home for $135,000. Because of how appraisals work, they take the most recent sales for the prior 6 months. Those distressed sales can temporarily reduce the appraised value of all the houses in the neighborhood until newer sales come along and replace the distressed sales.
So what should our customers do to make sure that isn't happening to them?
When you're choosing a reverse mortgage company, Gary, make sure that they have a way of identifying if your appraisal is unusually low.
And our company has what we call our appraisal accuracy check. If a neighborhood is being valued artificially low because of distressed sales, we can identify that and alert our customers. Then we give our customer options. One option is to delay getting a reverse mortgage until the first appraisal expires. That happens 4 months from when the appraisal was done. Then, if more recent, normal, comparable sales have occurred in the market, you can get another appraisal. It may more accurately reflect the value of your home.
Let's talk about the other factors that affect how much you get, like the interest rate.
In the HUD formula, there's a tipping point regarding the interest rate. What I mean by that is generally the lower the rate goes, the more money you will get. Conversely, the higher the interest rate goes, the less money you get. But there is a magic number in the HUD formula where if the rate goes below that point, it doesn't give you any more money. And that tipping point rate is actually 5.06%, which is essentially 5.1%. Let me say that again. If the rate is lower than 5.1%, it doesn't give you any more money. The bottom line is just be sure your interest rate is not over 5.1%, otherwise you would not be getting the most money possible. Be sure you understand what the interest rate is, whether it's an adjustable rate or a fixed rate loan. The initial rate determines how much you get.
You may wonder if the closing costs are the same from one lender to another. Does that affect the amount of money you get from a reverse mortgage? The costs are regulated by HUD, and generally, there's not a great deal of difference in the actual cost from one lender to the next. The reason is because all the closing costs, other than the origination fee, are paid to third-party vendors, people like the appraiser, the title company, and the attorneys. The lender doesn't control those third-party costs, and this is important. HUD doesn't let lenders mark up those costs.
So is there anything a person can do to ensure that they're getting the most money other than making sure that the interest rate is 5.1% or below and getting the highest appraised value?
We give our customers a most money guarantee. That means if a customer finds a better deal with another lender, we'll match it and beat it by $300. No questions asked. My advice is to definitely ask the company you're dealing with if they have a written guarantee that you're getting the most money possible. Our company, Reverse Mortgage USA, certainly does. I think you want assurances that you're getting the most money. And thank you for watching. Please call us if you have any questions.